Hi, I'm Jessie Boyd. I received a liver that saved my life on Christmas Day. It was an absolute, here we go, Christmas miracle 2021. I am an athlete. I've been extremely healthy my entire life. And then I teach PE. I was getting ready. It was right around Thanksgiving on 2020. And I went to brush my teeth. And all of a sudden, I started puking like I've never puked in my life, like a sprinkler. So I called my husband, Justin, in, and I'm like, babe, what is going on? And we thought I had eaten something badly the night before. We thought I had food poisoning. So I called my school. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to make it in. I ate something really bad. I'll keep you posted. And then I just thought I'd sleep it off. Later that day, the same day, my stomach distended in the same day to where it looked like I was pregnant and we were like, what is going on? Like literally we had no clue. So Justin and my mom took me to the hospital that's right down the street from my house, and they admit me and they do ultrasounds and x-rays. Next thing I know, I'm in an ambulance to St. Joe's. I've never been in an ambulance my entire life. So everything was like, what is going on? What is happening? I get to St. Joe's after a billion tests, finding out what's wrong with me. They determined that I had a hole in my intestine. So they get in there and open me up. And then while they're in there rooting around, they see that my liver is completely shot. And I think between the morning I had thrown up, there had been like 2 to 3 days that had passed with all the tests they had run and stuff. So they fixed the intestine eventually. And then they're like, okay, we need to get her on the liver transplant list. She has to get this or she's not going to make it. Everything's going good. They have all the IVs in me. Obviously I can't be eating. I'm losing weight. It was really scary and it wasn't good. So then they get me on the transplant list. And my mom and Justin are like, go time. Here we go. Well, for reasons from St. Joe, they determined after saying Jessie is on the transplant list, they determined, nope, we're taking her off. She's not going to make it. So Justin and mom went from, yep, she's getting a liver to she's just not going to make it. They had told Justin and mom they did not have the expertise. And Justin and mom are like, what are you talking about? This is not an option. There has to be another plan. So Justin and mom are like, we got to get her to Mayo. We have to get Jessie to Mayo. Well, this was during COVID, which was insane for every one of us. So they reach out to Mayo, and Mayo doesn't have any beds available. So I'm hanging on by God's beautiful gift by an absolute thread. So then my numbers start to decline, and I'm about to not be here. So then my stepdad, Randy, and a very good friend of ours, Neville, asked permission to St. Joe's if they could do a blessing for me. And this was during COVID, so it was another act of God that they finally got whoever at the hospital at St. Joe's to say yes, which they had to like grit and pull, and finally they're like, yes. So around my hospital bed, which I don't remember any of this, but it was Neville, my stepdad, Randy, my mom, Justin, and a doctor. And then Randy led the blessing and everybody prayed for me. The next day, my numbers improved. It's another miraculous, beautiful gift from God. Because of that, we reached back out to Mayo, and then Mayo said there's a bed available, of course. Thank God. So St. Joe's got me prepared. They ambulanced me to Mayo, second time in ambulance my whole life. I hadn't been outside in the fresh air for, I think, a week and a half because I was hanging on for life and tubes are everywhere. So all I remember is going into Mayo, and there was this like tunnel underneath this secret passage into Mayo, or that's how I remember. And then they opened the ambulance doors, and I saw a version of God in love that I've never felt in my whole life. So it came over me, and I just felt a presence that I will never be able to explain other than God. It was so beautiful. So then they take me into Mayo, and then Mayo admits me, thank God, and then they tell Justin and my mom that they have to redo all my tests to make sure that I'm eligible for the liver. And Justin and mom are like, she has been hanging on by a thread from God for, I don't know, a week and a half. Please. They're like the sweetest, most angels on earth, Mayo. So Dr. Raquel, God's angel, tells Justin, we will do the best we can. Mayo meets on a committee and we make committee decisions. I promise you we will do what's best for her. So Justin and mom are like, okay. Meanwhile, I have lost 40 pounds. I'm hanging on. I'm like not good. So as Dr. Raquel goes to walk out the door to go to the meeting, Justin chases after him down the hallway and stands in front of Dr. Raquel, who is one of the most beautiful humans you'll ever meet in this earth. And all around Dr. Raquel are all of Mayo's specialty doctors. And Justin stands right in front of them and goes, "You don't know her. You don't know Jessie. She can do this. She can do this." And he is the shyest, most humble person you'll ever meet. So for Justin to champion me is just another part of God's love in my life. And Dr. Raquel put his hand on Justin's shoulder. It's like, "We'll do our best. We'll do our best." So then Dr. Raquel and all of the Mayo transplant team, Phoenix, go and meet. And then I'm just hanging on by God's love and the fight in my soul. And then Dr. Raquel comes back after the meeting and says, "Yes, we'll save her." So Mayo decided that they would save me. Thank God. So then the next step was getting me on the list. So then they tell Justin I'm number 1 on the list. Now, I'm an extremely competitive person. I play college softball. I just got back from boot camp right before my call with you. I'm like, heck yeah, They're like, "No, it's in need out of the entire world." I'm like, oh crap. So then I'm hanging on again for dear life. And then on Christmas Day, something happened to a beautiful soul in this earth. And because of that person, I was able to receive their liver. My whole family stayed in the hotel that's on Mayo's property. And then Dr. Reddy, Mayo transplant surgeon / angel on earth, calls Justin at 3:30 in the morning and goes, "She made it." And my whole family is just jumping and cheering. And then I got the liver. And then I made it, and then a miracle happened. And then Mayo explained to my family that the reason this happened to me was because I was born with Budd-Chiari syndrome and a genetic mutation that I had lived with my entire life. And then, boom, one day, poof, overnight, just the beep hit the fan. And I fought with God's love and my family and my students. If I'm a teacher, just everybody rallied for me, and because of them, I'm here. It's just such a beautiful gift. I'm just so grateful. It's just so beautiful. It was so brutal coming out of it. I didn't understand. I thought I did something wrong because I've done everything freaking right my whole life. I've never done drugs. I've never smoked. I drank occasionally like most humans, and I had to come to grips with what did I do wrong? But as soon as I accepted, it took me a while. It was rough. But as soon as I accepted, hang on a second, I did nothing wrong. God chose me out of a sea of beautiful people in the world to now show what is possible with God's love and Mayo's specialty and my donor, who I think of every single second of every single day. And I just want to encourage everybody, every single person, to become an organ donor because I'm alive because of them. I think about my donor. I think about whoever they may be, this angel. Let's just say they were, I don't know, at boot camp. And then boom, all of a sudden, one day they decided to check a box. Just because, and because of them, I have life. There's nothing more valuable than this. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. I want everybody to hear and go, holy crap. And I want people to see me and go, you had a friggin' liver transplant? Because I want to show what is possible. You can be healthy and live a beautiful life and hike and everything. You can fight and get back. And I'm a teacher too. So my students, the one thing I forgot to mention is when I was fighting with everything I had in me, my students wrote letters. And at the end of my hospital bed, Justin and my mom would read the letters. I still have one right here on my fridge. I look at it every day, and my little students, I hope to God nothing ever happens to these little babies. I teach kinder through 6th grade. I hope nothing does. One day, they'll go, holy crap, my freaking PE teacher, she had a freaking liver transplant. I could do anything. I can be anything I want to be, and I'm going to be an organ donor because of her. I always have been extremely motivated, and I like to be really great at things, but now it's something I cannot explain. Yeah. It's God's push of Jess, I feel something I've never felt before, and that's why I think God chose me, to show a symbol, like Chris. It's a symbol of somebody fighting to go, holy crap, I can be that again if I fight. One of my friends, Tracy Wingo, she told me she's an ambassador. And I said, well, what is that? And then she sent me the link because I had done Sip and Save with your fabulous organization. I didn't even know what it was. So I started looking around and I noticed that all the people, I say this with love in my soul, they look healthy. I mean, there's a surfer on there. There's an Olympian on there. There's runners. And that's the part where I was like, I should be on there. Because I've met folks who've received transplants. God bless them. I love them. The people on your page look like they are like, here I am, world. And they're embracing it in their own way. And I just knew that's me because that's me. I felt a pull towards it. I lost 60 pounds. I was in a wheelchair and I'm like, no. Like once the meds dropped off, I was like, who is this? Like I didn't understand anything that happened to me. And I simply would not accept that. So I worked with everything. It's just me and my family. I was like, this is not acceptable to me. So I'm better, stronger, fitter, healthier. I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life.